What is up, everybody? It is your friend Rafa Sparza coming to you live at the end of all of the festivities here for the team tournament. And we did crown, well, a new team, but also a new hope team that ended up winning the entire shebang. We want to give our congratulations to New Hope Generation. It was an incredible week of competition. And more importantly, not only are we going to talk with all of the members of Team New Hope Regeneration, but we're also going to recap how they were able to get the win, what is going to take place at the grand finale tomorrow on UFC Fight Pass, and much, much more, including another installment of Bullpen Court. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. You're watching the official PGF post show. If you guys can hear that in the background, that means that you are here on a live broadcast. We have a lot of people who are going to be joining us here in a second. You can see one of them off in the corner of that screen. But first, we want to thank you for tuning in. You've been watching a lot of matches. Specifically, over the past 4 days, we've seen over 120 matches, and many of them were dominated by the team that's going to be joining me here in just a few seconds. But before we do, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and sharing. We'll be keeping an eye out on the official broadcast in case you guys have any questions that you want me to throw at this team. But Team New Hope, they killed it. I mean, we kind of knew how things were going to end, and yet, we still saw them continue to put up numbers throughout the week. So we wanted to bring on some of the gentlemen here, and I believe they're just getting the last couple folks, including the alternates. Now, this might be a wide-ass shot. You can see some of them here. You can see the beautiful mug of one Travis Thomas. Travis, you have a microphone in front of you, sir. How are things going for you today, sir?
Oh, man, things are going great. Our team looked great. Our coaches were phenomenal, and, you know, we're super happy. We're all $20,000 richer.
You are definitely $20,000 richer. I'm going to ask you first, what are you doing with the money, sir?
Oh, dude, you already know. I'm going home, and I'm throwing that on my lady when I beat her down.
Hold on. Let's be very clear. It is love and affection
Love
that
and
you are
affection.
bidding into. Okay,
Absolutely.
great. I
yeah,
just
this
don't
is
want
the most amount of money that I have ever had in my life. So, yeah, we're going to have a little party, and then I'm going to put this in my savings, and who knows what we do with the rest.
Very nice. I'm going to ask Ernesto, do you mind taking a seat up here? You as well have been very vocal. You don't need the headsets, but if they help you, you're perfect.
Put 'em on.
Okay, put them on. If it helps you, sir. Ernesto, you were also somebody who you can't hear anything.
No, it's all good.
It's all good, but you can hear me, so take them off. Ernesto, you came in at the last minute, but you were doing monster work out on the mats. How does it feel to have contributed a lot to the success of this team?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you try to take it one match at a time, but the first year you're like, dude, I have 12 matches ahead against killers, so you're just like scared and afraid of everything. But you just do it scared anyway and just try to contribute. And I think literally everybody did their part, like everybody. So,
I mean, you guys had a really good team. Everybody definitely did their part. Did you have a particular favorite moment of somebody else on the team here?
honestly, it's hard not to glaze my team members, but the way Cam competed all week, is fucking incredible. Like, I had a match with him before, so I knew how tough he was. But literally, like, battered, like his elbow's the size of a golf ball. And he's just like, man, I'm going out there anyway. So, I mean, a lot of really good moments, but that for me, like, stuck out for sure.
You know, I know Cam. I'm familiar with him. I felt he was coming in undersized, but he played such a great role for you guys. My man didn't matter. I heard, you guys don't have to substantiate any of these rumors I hear. I'm just the media. But I heard there was an option for somebody to come in and fill in for him at some point. And my man said no. Is this facts or is this not facts?
I mean, I think it was just like everybody wanted to give 100% every single time, you know? So, like, unless they're, like, unable to walk out there, we're going with,
Fair enough. All right, so we want to give some love to your team, but first I want to go to, of course, your coach, your master, your guy who was giving this through. I want to make some room, but guys, please, make some room.
I'll get out of the seat.
When you have a legend, everybody moves, guys. Master Pedro's out.
Baby, I love you.
If you don't mind joining us right now,
Not at all, amigo.
thank you so much for being here. We love seeing you. And if you wouldn't mind just scooting up just a little bit close to that microphone, I would just like to ask this. How did you become involved with this organization?
Well, I got a phone call from Mika Sapili, and he told me about the show, and I really like the concept. I really like the idea. And Brandon called me right after that, sent me a text message, and I told my wife how my schedule was. My schedule was actually I had to cancel some event that I was going to do, and anyway, I decided to come over here.
What did your wife say when you said, "Hey, I know you like seeing me, but I won't be around for a week"?
Oh, she doesn't like that at all. She's been sending messages here all the time.
I know the feeling. My wife has definitely been like, "When do you get home?" And I'm like, "Soon, babe. Soon, very much."
Well, my wife she's very supportive.
Can I ask, how were you able to work with this team? Like, how were you able to inspire them? What did you see your role as at throughout the week?
Well, when I arrived here, I didn't know nobody, so I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know what kind of level everybody else. But after the first night, and I saw the way how they performed the first night, we got together back there. We just started talk about escapes and how we survive, how to not let people score points. Basically, just simple stuff, and they are just like a sponge, and they done very well. They escape moves, they done stuff. And they all pretty much almost like professional guys, so you don't have to do too much for them.
Yeah. I mean, they clearly did great work. When did you know your team had it in the bag? Because sometimes when you're the coach, you want to fight all the way till the end. But, I mean, yesterday we were trying to preview today's matchups, but we kind of sat here going like, I think we know you're going to win. So
Yes.
when did you have a feeling you guys were actually going to win the whole thing?
Well, like I said, I never saw. I didn't know how the other shows was happening, the other fighters have. So I didn't know difference. I didn't know points. I didn't know how they could, come up with, to catch us up.
Yeah.
But yesterday I knew we were pretty comfortable. But we always talk about, listen, is until the last bell, you never call the victory.
Absolutely.
So we just stay humble. Let's stay focused. You guys are doing great, and everybody was always get together. Bunch of great guys, incredible talent, nightmares. That's what they are.
I'm familiar with their work. I know they are nightmares for a lot of people this week. I'm so specifically curious to know, did you have any favorite moments from your team this week? Did you have any moments that stuck out to you that you thought, man, that's a cool thing, either that you witnessed or that maybe even behind the scenes you saw from your team?
Well, I thought the camaraderie, everybody was very tight to each other. Everyone was helping each other. Everybody was just cheering to, everybody was just team up. We just team up, and everybody decided to fight for the same cause, and they did great. And anyway, I forgot to tell about the coach. Everybody here is coach. Everybody who came here, we need to shout out to those guys because they are the one that prepared those guys here.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Well, that brings me to a quick point, sir, and I don't mean to interrupt, but you guys kind of cheated because you had a secret weapon over there too. Like this is a very good human being that does work. You know what I mean? Ricky is no slouch in his own right. He
Not
could
at all.
easily be a coach here in the PGF as well, just on his own.
100%. He's a kid. Let's say Rick is a student who started training at 6 years old. He understood jiu-jitsu to the point where after jiu-jitsu, when he was 18 years old, he decided to go wrestling. And he went to wrestle in a very high level because he was using jiu-jitsu mentality, jiu-jitsu strategy to accumulate, to kind of develop his wrestling. And he's just a phenomenal guy.
Yes.
Very smart. I remember him as a kid. I used to tell him, Ricky, you got to do, you got to do a lot of triangles. So he used to tell me, Professor, they did 500. Hey, Professor, another 500. Hey, another 500. Another 500. Oh, it's now close to 10,000. He was in this kind of the pattern. So he ended up to be a monster. Anybody who ever trained with this kid, you're up to a nightmare there.
We interviewed with him the other day, and he talked about the persistence, the carry through that he's seen in other people. He's been able to work with some top tier talent, including yourself, but he said that was a consistent note. So I'm sure he feels a great sense of pride hearing his mentor say that about him, because really all we're trying to do is pass it on to the next generation, sir. And that definitely is something that you have started, and I know that is feeling and it's reverberated through the gentleman that you have behind you. I would like to ask this. Is there anybody that you'd like to see? Because legends know legends. Is there any other legends that we're not thinking of here? Or are you going to come back and keep this coaching spot? Because we have a standard for the coaches that we have put on this show, and you uphold that. I'm just curious to think, would you come back, or would you like to see another legend possibly come here, and if so, who?
I would love to come back anytime to help, whatever I can do to help. Anytime I can help any kind of mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, any kind of tournament, I will donate my time, 100%. One of my promises that I made to Grandmaster Eddie Gracie when he was pretty older already, I told him I'm never going to take the jiu-jitsu that you taught me to the grave. I will share, I will pass it on, and I've been doing this since I came to America. And I was pretty much putting about, close to 8 hours a day of practice. Yeah. And I've done this my whole entire life. So I want to make sure that I keep passing on, because the jiu-jitsu, the invisible jiu-jitsu, sometimes is a mind-blowing. And got to keep on doing it.
It is. And again, we cannot thank you enough. I heard such great things from everybody who was able to witness your team. I know these gentlemen appreciated your time. And thank you again so much. I'm going to keep giving the mic to some of your guys because I want to make sure they get some mic time. But when a legend is here, we make sure to make time. Sir, thank you so much. We appreciate you very much. Come on up.
Thank you very
sir.
much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, guys. We're going to move on up. Cam, if you wouldn't mind taking the seat over there, that third seat. And go ahead, gentlemen, please don't be shy. You guys are making the shot look bad by all these empty chairs. You guys got partying and champagne to do. We're, of course, jumping in right now. Of course, Cam Hurd, and we've got Brad Schneider. Brad, I have to ask a question. Do you know the question I have to ask you?
Let's hear it.
All right. Where were you the other night?
We went to Caesar's Palace and got food at Gordon Ramsay's. I don't know.
Okay. We wanted you to be here, sir. We were trying to give you some shine, but we didn't.
I didn't know. For the interview.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No one came up to me, and I was like, around. I didn't mean to ghost you guys.
Because, Brad, here's the thing. You left me on red, bro. And I'm looking over here, and I was like, is it me? I'm
going to blame Kevin. He came up to me, and then I didn't hear anyone for an hour, and I was
Don't worry.
confused.
I blamed Kevin, too, in a post-meeting.
There we go.
And I'm just saying, those get intense. But nonetheless, you had such a great week here, sir. I know you felt a little bit of a chip on your shoulder at a certain point when you said, hey, I'm coming in late. I want to show out. And when you started putting up numbers on the board, did you feel like you were showing out and showing who you are as a grappler?
I mean, honestly, like, my beginning lineup was very hard. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody here is an elite grappler, but the people I was going against my first 4 matches were some of the toughest people in the division, and I felt, if I can get through those matches, I want to stay healthy. I don't want to risk, re-injuring, because I already took over a year off for a knee injury, so I'm not going to recreate that.
Of course.
And then once I got out of those, it was like a weight was off my shoulder. Obviously, I'm not happy with the performance. I feel like I still have a lot to improve. But, I'm just grateful to be on the team that I am. Everybody had a lot of cohesion. We, all came every day to our training sessions. We had, a lot of feedback. We were very, what's the word? We all kind of chipped in, shared techniques. And, I feel like that was a big difference maker. I don't know what the other teams were doing. They're probably doing something similar, but I didn't expect that part of this experience, having all that with our team.
Well, you were definitely putting out your jiu-jitsu in a fun way, and it made things so much more interesting for us, because I think what ends up happening is everybody thinks they know what's going to happen. But I always tell people, you got to just kind of watch, and you're going to see it unfold. We can make guesstimations, but nobody can guess, like, Andre's going to get, like, murked out with an injury because you think he's world class. Yeah. Then you see all these other guys, like, held together with glue stick and still struggling to come out here. And you know the grind that it is. So I just tell people, I'm like, just come along for the ride and let's hope for the best for the athletes, because all you guys want is your shot. And I felt like you made great use of your shot, and it was so fun watching your specific game when you could not only counter, or when you found the angle that other people were not finding. Yeah, and I felt like that was really cool to watch.
I've always felt my game like, obviously I had some trouble because I'm walking right into, like, some of the world's best leg lockers guards.
Yes.
And I probably could have played a little cagier, felt it out a little more, but I don't think that's what, like, fans would want to see.
Sure.
It's unfortunate I got submitted, but, if I go out there and exchange, I try to counter, and I have a very counter-heavy game. I feel like that is more fun to watch, and I'm here to, jiu-jitsu is my life. And as an athlete, people don't care about what I do if I don't put on a show. It's a spectator sport. Hopefully in the future, and if we're going to get it there, we need to show out. We need to put forward good matches.
You're speaking to a fellow counter grappler, you at a much higher level, so I could appreciate what you do, and I recognized it, but we were hoping to give you your flowers a little bit earlier, but maybe it was meant to be this way when you guys won the big thing. So we appreciate your work, sir, and great work. I do want to give some props because you mentioned the idea of counter grappling. Cam, you might have started a new element in this, which is counter couch grappling. You, toward the very end, seemed like you were on a mission to put someone through a couch, and someone not too far from this group of people. So I guess I should ask this. How do you feel, sir? Because you were what we refer to as a dog. Like a dog day one, a dog day two. And I think the biggest testament to your game is you were here and you could have stepped out at any time, and you didn't. And I knew you wouldn't. But as a human and a friend, I'm always like, you can. You could. But you made it all the way through, and man, had some incredible moments throughout the week. So tell me just, what does it feel like, sir, to have made it and survived not one, but two gauntlets here back to back?
It feels really good. It's kind of a weight off your shoulders, know that you survived pretty much unscathed. I got a little bit of battle wounds here and there. My elbow's a little banged up, but it's nothing like, too severe. We were lining up out to come out and get the check. I was like, we're about to make $20K to do jiu-jitsu. This is pretty cool, Like, I don't think that's ever really been a thing before, the PGF, and now it is a thing. And, athletes are getting to come in here and showcase their hard work and put it on the line for a real prize. And it feels really good to come out on the winning team. Like you said, I was kind of the blocker, I guess, for the team. And
brother, you're a tank. Let's start there.
Yeah.
But then second of all, sometimes people talk about a blocker, but you were providing some of the best moments. You and I believe it was Caleb had the first audience applause break for a match. And to me, I went up to Caleb. We brought him on that night because I wanted to give him his half of that respect. Yeah. And I just said, like, hey, what sucks is when people start saying, this guy's this guy's that. And they think this is easy. But the survival is 70%. The timing is 20%. And then maybe we get into the smallest of differences. And I felt like every time I saw you out there, whether you were red in the face to the point I thought you were a tomato, or you were in the middle of just a dogfight that I just thought, like, man, this dude is giving you your money's worth every single time you hit the mats. So I guess I should ask you and Brad the same question, which is, what are you guys doing with the money?
Well, I'm sure my wife's got some home projects that she's got in mind already. I'm sure I'm going to come home to a honey-do list. I want to put some away, invest some, but also I might try to buy an old Harley or something. I really want to buy a motorcycle.
Look at you. You know what? You earned that shit, sir.
Thank you.
So definitely, if that's what the champ wants, the champ should get that.
Thank you.
Does that involve am I going to see some more exotic meats on the Instagram? Are you going to be like barbecuing some great stuff, sir?
Yeah, actually the Traeger is having some issues lately.
No.
It might be on its last few days.
Brother,
so
no.
Maybe it's time for an upgrade. It's good timing.
That's what I'm saying. You got the money for it now.
I want the bigger one, so I can put more meat on there.
Okay. Brad, what are you looking to do with your money, sir?
It's not that exciting of an answer, but I have a little bit of student debt. I'm going to put money towards that, and then save the rest. $20,000 is a lot of money. It's, especially in this sport that we do, it's a life-changing amount of money, but I don't want to change my spending habits and blow through it. I could put money towards, opening my own gym in the future, investing in myself. So that's what I'm, going to be doing.
Well, I like the responsible answer. If you were on a game show that I produced, I'd be like, no, kid, give me a fake one.
Yeah.
Like we're going to Disneyland or
we're
something.
in Vegas, but they don't give us the money by the time I leave. So.
No. That check's got to clear in a few days. You'll be fine. But I would tell you this. Both of you guys, congratulations. And I do want to ask this before we bring on two of your compadres here. Y'all's team made it a point where you said you wanted the alternates to be on stage with you. just from your guys' perspective, why was that important to you and your team?
I mean, I think this team is very special. Like, I've been in 3 seasons now. Obviously, you form bonds with people, and the team has some sort of camaraderie, but I've never been on a team that really, like, melded together like this one did, and everybody was in the corner. The alternates were helping everybody warm up. You know, we wanted to see them get their opportunity as well. And I think that it was a very special team, and the leadership with, Pedro and Ricky was amazing, because like the sessions that we had every day, I think we all learned something that we can take back, and we learned things that we were implementing the same day. So, yeah, it was just like a very, very good bonding with the team.
I mean, I heard things on the streets that they were telling me that you guys were learning, and I just got jealous. I was just like, that sounds fun. And instead, I got to come here and do this whole dog and pony show. Instead, I'm like, I want to go crash their sessions. But I just felt like that was such a great opportunity that you guys had, and especially seeing how grounded Pedro is. And like, I've been familiar with Ricky's work for a long time, so we've never actually gotten to talk. But I was just like, that seems like a treasure trove of information to ask these people, like, hey, while we've got this time, what can I pick your brain with? So I felt that's a really cool thing to add to the stuff where you guys already have great teams. So congratulations to you, gentlemen. I'm going to bring up your friends over this way, but I want to say thank you so much for all of your hard work, your sweat, your tears, and Cam, 90% of your blood.
It wouldn't be a match if I wasn't.
You know what? When you blade every single time, I get real concerned. I was like, at one point, I saw you weren't bleeding in a match, and I go, that's temporary. And then that's when they called out for the towel. They're like, he's bleeding. And I was like, you knew he would.
Of course, the macho man.
Absolutely. My macho man indeed, brother. Hey, you guys take it easy. Thank you so much for your time. Gentlemen, I'm going to have you move on up this way. All right. We are now joined by 2 new friends. Jacob, Aaron, how are you guys doing today?
Good, man. I mean, just
Move you up to the mic if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, yeah, doing good, man. I basically got credit for the group project that I didn't contribute anything to. So, yeah, I mean, it's really cool that they decided to give us $1,000 a piece. I really wanted to get matches for our team, but we ran out of alternates, and they said, Jake, you want to fight Fedor and then Cam? I said, hell yeah.
Was it weird to get the note to fight Kim? Because just from a base level, 1, y'all showed out, so that was dope to see.
That was the objective, yeah.
But 2, you're both tanks. So we've been talking about like, oh, this dude, look at him. He's all stacked. You're stacked too, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, I knew we'd be a good matchup. I figured it probably wouldn't have ended in submission, so I knew that we were going to have to hit some couches to try to get some clippable moments. Just trying to be entertaining.
It's just, the part of my brain that forgot that for a split second you were on the same team. You just fooled me by the performance of what you guys were doing. But I think that's what you're supposed to do as an alternate. You're supposed to make the most of your time. Nonetheless, how would you say your journey was in terms of a lot of the times when you're an alternate, you don't think you're going to get your time?
Yeah, for sure. I was not expecting to get any matches. I was the 9th alternate, actually. So these guys were dropping like flies, so I had to come in, and I had a death row, man. I had 4 out of 5 of my guys did ADCC this last year. So I got some good experience. And I also got to help New Hope. I gave Ryan Aiken a kill. So he didn't sub me. I gave that to him. So put that in the records.
You know what? We will mark it here as such. This is the official record that people will use in the future. I would ask this. So what about this appealed to you guys? Because when you're out and you're at the practices, I feel like you guys are almost the guinea pigs for every kind of setup. I'm pretty sure they're like, hey, can you come here? I need some pummeling, or I really want to work this out. Like, what does it feel to be in that supporting role? Because at any given minute, especially this week, people were dropping like flies. You might have your time to shine, and you want to stay warm as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I really enjoy coaching, probably more, if not the same, as I do competing. So, I'm pretty sure everybody heard me. I've been yelling my ass off this entire time. I was really invested in everyone doing really well.
Yeah.
So, for me, at no point was I hoping anybody got hurt just so I could get an opportunity or anything. I come from a team sports background. I played football. I wrestled. So this is nothing unusual for me, and it's just been a really cool experience, just kind of being a part of it.
It's funny. I just really need to make sure you understand this. You don't need to tell anybody you wrestle. Like, we know this about you just by seeing you. Like, if I saw you at a supermarket, I'm pretty sure I'd be like, okay, this gentleman has wrestled before. We're gonna be friends, and that'll be great. But I recognize that about you, so that is cool. Same question.
For sure. I like it actually. I've been training 2.5 years, so I'm still in the sponge phase. So I'm just soaking everything up that I can. And I mean, we had a great team. These coaches, they were awesome, man. It's just been awesome to work with them. So, but yeah, I like supporting my team, being able to just give them tips. I study these guys all the time. So, I mean, I'm from Brandon's gym, so I know the PGF. I've been watching this forever. So I know all these guys who are competing. So I'm able to give tips on what to do, what their game is.
Can I ask a qualifying question here? So you were the 9th person that was the alternate. It's known as the Invisible Man, is it not?
I don't know about
That's
that.
what I thought you were referred to at some point. And I thought, does he know this branding? Because if you were to tell me I'm the Invisible Man, I'm like, I'm too loud to be an Invisible Man. So I guess the idea is, were you just held in secret? Did you not tell anybody? Were you like a secret shopper and they were like, and the 9th guy is him?
I mean, I just stayed with my team. Brandon put me on Pedro's team in the beginning, so it kind of worked out crazy like that. And I ended up going to first for him. Not upset about it, not happy, but I mean, New Hope's my guys, so I ended up having to come back.
So this is an important thing. You guys have some perspective, and I think tonight we're actually going to debate the merits of this. But I would like to know, from your particular perspective, do you think it's important that we look to the future to perhaps be able to persuade the alternates to be taken in the future and kind of exceed what we've done here before? Because my thought process was, when it looked like y'all were locking this up by a team point, I said, if I was a different team, I'd be making offers to the alternates or to other members. Do you think that's something that we can have going forward? Because other sports don't have trade lines that end at the draft.
You're talking like mid-season trades?
Yep.
I think that'd be pretty cool. I think the thing you struggle with is, was it 4 days the last time as well?
Yes, it was 4 days of tournament competition for the team. 4
days of competing for people who are 200 pounds, who are really, really good. I think you saw things break.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing as these 170, 160-pound guys. Yep. You saw it with Marcin and Andre Porfirio.
Yep.
Andre's the type of guy where he's like, hey, if it's going to break, it's going to break.
I mean, I knew this was the case. When they mentioned, they're like, oh, we're doing 205 the next time, I go, oh, Godspeed to us all. This is
they might need some more alternates next time, honestly.
Well, we cut a bit here. Obviously, they ended up taking Kevin, but Kevin's done this before.
He was planning this all along.
Well,
I'm certain.
Hold on. Don't give him that credit. Give me the credit, because I pulled him on the show. He would not be here if it wasn't for me saying, hey, I want you to come do this.
It's your fault, Kevin.
It's not my fault. Hold on. It's that I get a finder's fee because as his manager, I take 60% of his winnings. And I'd like to tell you this, which is that I just knew when it was that division, I thought it was an all hands on deck exercise. And everybody who trains jiu-jitsu suddenly started thinking to themselves, are they going to call me? Because, like, I'm like $185, and the answer is no. Like, absolutely not. So I definitely had that going on. What is next for both of you gentlemen?
So I have next weekend on Sunday. Actually, Brad's on my team. We're doing the main character jiu-jitsu.
Oh, nice.
We're going up against the B team. Brad's got a match against Nick Mattia. My opponent is his name's Musab Braza. He's a bigger guy.
I know Musab, yeah.
I think they had J-Dog and that Sally guy. They both dropped out, so there's 2 replacements for that. And then I don't even know the rest of my team, but they look pretty solid. They're just kind of random people. So, yeah, that's coming up. And then I have Nogi Worlds December 13th and 14th. So, I'm looking to win that. I'm still a brown belt. This will hopefully be my last run at brown belt, and then I'll have a black belt. So, yeah.
Well, that's super great to hear. Good luck on those. Same question, sir.
So me and Travis, we have a team. We're doing a quintet event And
Everybody's doing a team event. That's where
Yeah.
you go. You guys,
That's the way to do it.
you
Yeah.
guys just thought about it. You're like, you know what? This team event wasn't enough. Give me all the team
Yeah,
events.
we've actually
now.
just did one before this too. So we have a team event coming up in Louisiana, and the next day we're actually driving to Miami, or throughout the night we're driving to Miami, and we're doing the Equinox event. So
Good
I'm doing
Lord.
a 180 bracket for that, and
What are you at right now?
I'm probably 185.
Good Lord. No,
Call
yeah,
me for
of
the
course.
call me for the 170 season, Brandon.
We oh man, you know what? You all should be making your bids. 100% do
Let's
that.
do it.
I just knew that I got on the scale to be like, I'm pretty sure I can't make 205, and I got on there. I was just like, no, let me prove it to you guys, and then we cut a little bit, and then it was past 205, and they're like, I was like, nah, y'all aren't calling me. I got a job right here that I like very much. Well, gentlemen, this is great to get to know both of you guys. I feel like the underappreciated gems are always the alternates, but the alternates sometimes become the next guys. So hopefully we get to see you guys again. And if not, we'll definitely be charting your progress and all the things that come your way. But congratulations to the whole team, and I hope that things continue to go well. So, gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
pleasure to meet.
Thank you very much.
Please don't wrestle with me. Young man, you're the future. Don't grapple with me either. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Congratulations, you guys. All right. So we just talked with those gentlemen. We're now looking. We're going to be pulling in both of our good friends. One, Kevin Sherrill, I think here in just a second. And I believe, if my eyes and ears do not deceive me, I think we have another friend joining us today, because we should, I guess, make the point that our good friend, Tim Freeman, did not feel well today. So we actually sent him home. And he asked that I read something on his behalf. And it says, please tell my fans I'm sorry I had to pull out due to an injury from the sneak attack I suffered last night. So I don't know what that means. Oh, he is. Well, surprise, we're not going to do that then. We're going to talk very quickly with our good friend Marcin, and we're actually going to make room because we could actually fit. No, we could fit all you guys. I just want to make room for him because we have a third mic over here. He is a big dude, but I mean, this is a 205ers. Everybody here has been paying in dirt and putting in great work, and I believe he is making he's taking the long way over here, by the way. Oh, he's setting his chips down?
He's setting some hot chips.
Why did he could bring them with him? Anyway, Marcin Martulovic is now joining us. Go ahead and take a seat over here, sir. A returning face. No. Go to the middle. Thank you. We don't need to see more of him. He made a cameo tonight. That's good enough. But you, sir, have been a points performance machine throughout the week. How does it feel to have locked up your place for the finals tomorrow, sir?
As I was saying from the beginning, I may sound like a broken record again, but they will remember my name. They doubted, but we knew it from the beginning. I know, like, B-Mac believes in me. Huge shout out for him to get me this opportunity. And, I actually have a time of my life here, like competing, like meeting all those people, like showcasing. In general, I just love to perform, it's like a way to express myself, like during fighting. And it was, everything about this was so amazing,
That is amazing. So you did such a great job throughout the week. You mentioned that things were going to come your way. And what I'd like to do right now, actually, I believe our team actually has some footage. So I'm going to ask them in a second to play some of the footage, some of your greatest hits. Do you want to see some of your greatest hits? Yeah. You're like, why wouldn't I? So what I think we're going to do is we're going to ask them to play it. And if you wouldn't mind taking a look up at that television, they should be playing some of your greatest hits. Now, talk to us about some of these moments, sir.
Okay, so right now, there's a funny story about arming guillotine, because this is the move I struggled for so many years to hit in practice.
Really?
And I still don't have a great success in it. But I put so many effort during training to get good at it. So this is the first time I actually hit arming guillotine in competition.
Okay.
About the Uchimata, I used to do some judo in a way. It's one of my favorite throw, and I know that some are gonna be hard to control and stuff. Like every time I elevate him and do some action, he just like jump over. He just like short limbs. So getting into his legs was quite a difficult job. I chose to wrestle, get those Chimata right into the front headlock exposure, and I'm so fucking happy to get that finish. That's my first Armin guillotine.
Well, congratulations, sir. It looked good. You could have fooled me to thinking you'd do it more often.
Yeah, definitely.
What changed for you? Why do you think you were able to get it today when you say that you struggle with it?
I don't know. I just see the opportunity and I take it. Like, so Dean was constantly saying like, you should trust your instincts. I trust your instincts, and that was my instinct to just go for it. It's like at first that was my mind. It's coming into the Dars choke because I feel more confident in the Darses than guillotines. But it's like cool. I should just try it. And it came out quick. So
well, congratulations on that. And I know I oversold it and told you we had clips. It turns out we only have one. The crew has already taken off, so
okay, cool.
We don't have any more. But I think we got a good story out of that one. I want to ask you this quick question because I saw you over on the side when people were getting interviewed tonight, and you were kind of pointing at your watch. Why were you doing that? What did that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to get the shit done, I was like, bro, I just want to get that fight. I was kind of like, I just want to get over it. I have like 2 submissions already. I was aiming for the third. It was like a length thing for me. It's too long, I just want to get shit done.
Okay, so it was an anxiety thing because I took it as almost like it was like a boogeyman kind of moment or like a telling in a horror movie, like I'm going to kill you. Let's move this on. And I just thought he has this ability to be a horror villain. Like it's scary, sir.
Bro, I'm the nicest guy.
Yeah, no, I know you're nice, but I've seen your work. You also broke some limbs, so you don't just get to be like, "Ooh, who me? Nice." Ooh.
Bro, I mean, time is money. I don't have time.
Well, okay, fair enough. Then let's get the questioning here before you kill me. I have an ACL I'd like to keep.
I would never.
I would like to open up the questioning. Kevin, do you have any questions for Marcin?
Yeah, man. Who's your first round tomorrow? And
Elijah Carlton.
What's your plan?
Submit him.
It's a great plan. That's a solid plan. I like that plan.
Yeah. I don't want to like tell too much
right
now, so we're gonna. But I know he get tired. He get like to talk, of course, and I don't mind talking to him as well. It's like words, words don't hit.
So you've been telling me some phrases from your home, and you've been educating me throughout the week. You're like, oh, in my country we have this saying. What are some of the sayings you were telling me off air, if you don't mind sharing them?
Could you remember me stuff? Because I don't quite remember it.
Oh, okay. I don't remember them either. I don't say them as pretty as you do. But I think it was something to the effect of, in my country, we say mouth is like trash can.
Okay, we don't use our mouth as a trash can.
There we go. Thank you. See, that's a cool one. What does that mean?
So words should have a meaning. You don't just throw words like meaningless. Fuck you, fuck the other guy. Like if you say it, you mean it. So I don't use my mouth as a trash can. If I say something, I put my money into it. And if I say something, I'm gonna do it. If I don't know, I don't use the threats and like without the job done after.
Yeah.
So in Poland, we take our words very seriously, and that's the thing. We don't use our mouth as a trash bin,
I mean, when you said it, I thought it was super eloquent, and then I tried replicating it a little bit later, and it sounded like trash. So the American version doesn't work as well as yours. So I just wanted to give you props for that. Egg, did you have any questions for Marcin?
Do you have any experience in the overtime rule set?
I had some competition in Europe, I think 2 or 3. So it's not generally that new to me, but I don't do it that much.
Do you have any strategy for that? Do you go for more of a ride time first and then go for the submission? Or you just go straight to submission?
I'll go
how do you play
straight to
it?
submission.
Definitely don't answer that. Do not answer that. They will game for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to stop him here. I apologize, Egg. It's a very good question. 100% they're watching this. 100% if you give an answer, they will game for that.
Okay, cool. I'm staying quiet.
Fine, question withdrawn.
Tell me, and I promise, pinky promise, not to tell Paul and Ernesto.
Okay, cool.
What a clever thing to do by Kevin. He's like, no. He's trying to just fool you with his questioning. But trust me, the man in the used car salesman suit, to go ahead and tell you, it's okay. Who can you trust but another competitor that secretly has his gear on underneath the whole time?
Somehow I trust him, so we cool, buddy.
Oh, man. Well, that might be your first mistake that you made.
My
this whole
lower
week.
third from the pre-show?
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I know. I would want to ask this, though. So, Egg, when you were computing stats, when did it jump out to you that he was going to lock up second place? Because to me, he was slowly, climbing, and then you just kind of saw, it was like, oh, I think he's not only top 8, but he was securing his place very quickly, and Egg was the person looking at the numbers the most.
I actually wasn't so very worried about it. I mean, I knew you were killing it, and that's what I was excited about your matches every time, and how you just came out ferociously. Like you came in out, last dang match, and that was amazing. Like that was said, you didn't take any off, and you brought the action every time you were there. You were backing down from no one, and I love how even though as Matt Elkins kept calling you a unit, you're a very quite large gentleman, that you have no problem taking a seat and going after legs that way too, and the fact that you'll use your top game to get people tired. I find that very interesting, and this is not the end of seeing you. You're gonna be a star. I think you've heard that probably enough now. You probably don't need to hear it, but truly you're hearing it because we've watched you, and that's a great thing. For 12 matches, we got to see you, and now we might see you for three more tomorrow. I'm hoping so.
I mean, it means so much to showcase here in the United States because I know it's like just the place to jiu-jitsu. The jiu-jitsu is the best here. That was my goal from the beginning, to market myself here, as well, build my brand, build my name, get sick matches, and I hope some other promotion will be interested in me as well.
Oh, I think they will. And if they don't, they might be a little dumb not to utilize you. So I feel like if anybody really came out of this with a very high premium price, it should be you. So you get some bragging rights, sir. You get the ability to go tell people, you know what, put me on your card. Put me on this, put me on that, because you were entertaining and you're easy to work with. And I have to tell you, as an organizer and the guy who does it on this side for the media stuff, I love when athletes come up to us at the end of the night and go, interview? And I go, the answer is yes, if I got the time. But we also wanted to give shine to everybody else. 100%. So for me, I'm just like, it's not a no because we don't like you. It's a, we want to keep this somehow. Yeah, exactly. He understands. But I would tell you this. I want to give you one opportunity right now to look at that camera and tell people what they can expect from you tomorrow at the finale here at the PGF, sir.
What you're going to expect from me: more action, more submission, no stalling, and I get the shit done. Okay? If you want to learn this, invite me for a seminar. I really fucking need this. I want to stay here. I want to stay. So imagine, I'm a grappler and I'm Polish. So it's double strike with me being broke. So if you want me here, you need to invite me for a seminar.
You know what? That's a very compelling case. I think we have all the reasons in the world to keep you. I actually have gotten word from our production team. They might have found another clip because
cool.
This one, perhaps, I don't want to oversell this one as well, but there's a moment where there was a chase that was happening, and I think it's important for our team. I mean, they put it in slow motion, but I think Caleb was bracing for impact at that moment. Can we rewind this ever so slightly? Because I want to call an audible. I want you to pinpoint the moment that Caleb turns around and sees, like, oh, I see you, and reverse it again. 3, 2, 1. Now look at his face as he turns toward you, and I want an immediate pause when he realizes you're chasing him. Because it's
Looney Tunes.
boom. It's like, oh, he's behind me, isn't he? Now, some people might think this is a race where you hand off a baton to each other. No, this is grappling where this dude is now actively being pursued.
Look at our man coaching in the corner. He's saying run.
Now, hold on. And in the far distance, you got Heath, the hair blowing like he's a Baywatch character. And then this is the part. Pause right here. This is Hodger came alive for this because the GOAT knows. But this is the moment I'd like to say, for anybody who's not super good at wrestling like myself, that you just go, uh-oh, something bad's about to happen. And you just duck down and hope for the best. Because I realize it's like you can't get your pace, you can't get your setting. Like, what were you thinking when this was happening?
Yeah, I mean, fight to the whistle. The ref stopping the fight. I mean, I was just like hoping to. I knew Caleb would be he's hell of a fighter.
He was a gamer,
tough.
Dude. Yeah.
So tough to control after I took his back as well. So hard to finish, and I knew I need to take my chances whenever they are, like however they are. So that was my. If he turns back, I just run into him. That's it.
I mean, listen, dude, I was thoroughly entertained when that happened because they said Looney Tunes. They don't know a further reference was Benny Hill, where you just felt like they just needed to have the yakety sax music. And for me, whenever those moments happen, I'm always like on a computer writing notes, fixing these scenes, fixing the computer, fixing the cameras. I literally put down my work and just said, I'm just going to enjoy this moment because it's so silly in a very intense sport. So we appreciated that moment. And, sir, I want to let you get some rest because you got work to do tomorrow. But I want to tell you, man, if anybody here has reason to be excited for tomorrow, I think you are one of them. I look forward to seeing you get out there. And who knows, maybe tomorrow night we talk to you as well. So we'll see, sir. But thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much.
Brother, have a great rest of your night. Guys, keep him here. Get him out for a seminar. What's wrong with you guys? I feel like it's dumb not to utilize this dude at a like it's called money on the table. You're leaving money on the table. So thus, if you guys have the opportunity, we got a dude from Poland who wants to get work. Immigrants want work, guys. Just saying. So there is that. We want to take a moment here to go over a couple quick things before we get to PGF Court. So I thought we would actually go to the topics. Normally we do them up top, but we had a lot of people to organize. So why don't we go ahead and address a few topics. We're joined today by our good friend Egghead Egg, who is filling in for Tim. How are you doing, sir?
Admittedly, I'm exhausted.
Okay, great. We're going to keep you on for 3 more hours.
No, I brought this chocolate coconut water.
Oh,
You
man.
do not get
I
to take
thought I
my
was gonna
chocolate
get it.
coconut water.
Wow. Okay.
No. Thank
So-
you, sir.
I want to get to the topics, but you and Jason Anik have been doing work at Fantasy Island. What has it been like to work with a true broadcasting pro?
I've just been spoiled, Raph. I mean, because starting in season 5, I was doing commentary before that with Matt Scaff and Lindsay, and they're phenomenal, and just have had such a fun time with them. But then you get TJ DeSantis in there, and you just see how somebody can really drive the bus, and what professionalism is all about. And again, I had to leave there, had to go off on my own, but then they gave me somebody else professional with Jason to make things happen. He's amazing, and it's a great foil because he's so animated, and he's just, again, really smart, but really has a lot of fun and can drive the train. And I'm there to do the gonkulator stuff and give you the numbers. So
He just seems so enthusiastic about it. Like, he was telling like he's trying to apologize. He's like, oh man, I feel like the new guy in grappling. And it's like, that's the point. We
Yes.
need people like you who can help communicate all the stuff that these nerds get bogged down in and don't know how to tell an everyday person, oh, hey, in case you don't know what this is, let me walk you through it. And I thought that he was a great balance to you, and I was so happy to see you guys working together.
And that's what I told him the first day. Hey, you're the demographic we're trying to reach. I mean, every other competition, they say, okay, we're here for people that train jiu-jitsu. And don't get me wrong. If you train jiu-jitsu, you're gonna love the PGF. Many of us do, but it was designed for people that aren't practitioners. We have the 6-minute rounds, so it's quick action. You have easy to figure out scoring sets. It's a submission or nothing, and it's all designed for that. And so I told him, whatever he finds interesting, the people out there will find interesting. And so I said, hey, what do you have questions about? Let's talk about it and let's have fun. And he did, again, a great job of pulling those things out of me, pointing it out to the people. And he was talking directly to TJ about when we had stuff that we thought would be interesting.
Well, great. Gentlemen, Kevin, you also have some news. You went out there. What happened?
So I feel kind of bad about that, to be totally honest.
Like, what do you feel bad about, Kevin? Why would you feel bad about going out there and competing?
I don't feel bad about going out there and competing.
Okay.
So we got to set a little bit of the record straight. I feel bad because Paul kind of took a bullet for me, so to say, on the mic, where Paul Ardea had every intention of finishing out the season. I was, we'll say, promoted. Initially, Matt Elkins was the alternate for first form, and so he was first alternate if they needed someone to come in, and it was starting to look like that probably wasn't going to happen. But Matt comes up to me on the sideline and he goes, "Hey, man, are you trying to get into this thing?" I was like,
"Hold on, you got to use a deeper voice for Matt Elkins. It's not just, hey, man,
give me
what's
your
going
Matt
on?"
impression.
And slower.
So hold on. It's I said this earlier. He's basically, I was trying to figure out the timbre of his voice. It's Brad Pitt playing a Southern character. So when I've heard him talking, it's like, brother, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I want you to get out there because these shades are really heavy, and I feel like you do a good job. Like, get out there, boy. You want to put on a good show. And I saw him saying that to you, and I thought, I mean, he makes a compelling argument, Kev.
Yeah, so he comes up to me over here. I mean, all heard it. And as soon as he does that, I start taking my tie off, and I walk in the back, and I grab all my no-gi gear. I brought it with. I walk in the back, and I look at Paul, and I go, "Hey, man, I'm first alternate." I'm going to be honest. I went in the back locker room so those guys would see, hey, if you're not feeling like going, you got an alternate. Don't listen to what they're saying. And I talked to Paul, and I talked to two guys. I talked to Paul, and I talked to Travis Thomas. And Travis Thomas wasn't initially. We'll stick with the Paul thing.
Yeah, we'll stick with the Paul.
We'll stick with the Paul.
Good idea.
I talked with Paul, and he was like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna finish this shit out. I'm gonna finish this shit out." Like, I agreed to it, and then he starts getting down. He has his match with Travis, and he comes back and he goes, "Listen, are you really trying to get into this?" I said, "Yeah, I kind of am, man." And he goes, "All right, bro. All right, fuck it, man, because it's you. Get in there, bro." And I'm like, hell yeah. I swap out. I get out there. I had my match with Sebastian. It was a fun match. I really wanted to, kind of show a little bit more action than maybe I wasn't very happy with my season last year. I played a little too timid. So I tried to open up a little bit on Sebastian. Had a great time. A good match. Post-fight, Sebastian comes out and he goes, "If you're not trying to do all 12 matches, Paul Ardea," calls Paul out and just tries to drag him through the mud like Paul was running from him. And I'm just looking at Paul and I'm so sorry, bro. I appreciate you doing me the solid, but God, he took a pound of flesh for it.
To be fair, it was a better outcome than the Nancy Kerrigan-esque style that you were telling me off air on how you were going to insert yourself in. So I'm happy that nobody had to get clubbed on the knee for you to make your time in there. But you got a great ovation. And Egg, correct me if I'm wrong, how many stalling calls for Kevin Sherrill in this match?
I'm shocked. Well, we gave him 2 before he even started. To be very fair,
That was fair.
That did happen. But then I think 0.
0 was the correct answer.
It doesn't compute. It doesn't make any sense.
Now, granted, there were still stalling calls on Sebastian, which I still feel like it's a 50-50 dance. Like, it takes 2 to get a stalling call. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like you did encourage some stalling in there.
Did you hear Cody?
What did he say?
All right, so when they did the reset and we were lining up, we were kind of jockeying for position, trying to get a good reset and trying to make sure, you're trying to game the reset or whatever. And somebody in the crowd goes, "Man, why is this taking so long?" And Cody says, well, because Kevin's never been on the top position.
My God. Savage. I love it. Well, I was happy to see you get out there. You were enjoying being an athlete, but I do have one thing to ask you about. This post speech that you were giving, you were talking about being part of this commentary team. And then you were like, man, they pulled me on this commentary team, but like who I really am is an athlete. And I thought, oh, is that the case? Because I can call some alternates very quickly if need be. In fact, many of them were not competing anymore, and I'm pretty sure they would have slid in and I would be able to bring up their caliber as well.
You do. I'm positive you could have elevated the caliber. You could have like gotten some literacy out of these boys. Like I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. You know, you got to play to the crowd. They don't want to hear that you're like, oh man, I like not sweating.
I get it. You're doing terrible crowd work. I'm like, hey, St. Louis, it's good to be here. We all like the Arch, right? That's a thing. Anyway, let's do this. Let's get into some topics right now because we do need to preview this, and we'll go ahead and start with our first. Obviously, Team New Hope came to say hello to us. I'd like you guys very quickly to give me your summarization on how they were able to do it. I'm going to start with you, Egg. How was New Hope able to put this away and make such a statement here at this tournament?
Ryan Aitken was number one for a reason. He had more points than I think every other team by himself. I mean, but that's not it. I mean, that's not all of it because, you know, people that up until a week and a half before the season started performed. Ernesto and Kevin, you were right. He's awesome. Okay, you know, we got it because the numbers don't lie. All right, you know, Bradley Schneider. Wow, I mean, after that first day, everyone was circling his name like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get a sub on that guy." Wrong. So he did a big turnaround. And then Cam, you know, the Hulk, the thing, whatever, just like, you know, impossible to deal with. The stopper, he was phenomenal, always amazing. And man, I loved watching him get into a leg battle with the Sari. I mean, 2 seasons ago, D1 wrestler that was here to get dunked on, and now he's trading legs with New Wave members. That's amazing. Oh yeah, for all those reasons. But again, Ryan Aitken alone had more points than everyone else.
Factually true. But you did mention something that I think is worth noting. Cam didn't just do the gauntlet. He wasn't just our Iron Man. He's done this back and forth at last season and this season. Some people didn't make it all the way through. But Cam stuck it, did it. But I think he was telling us earlier, he's like, I got some stuff I've been working on. And when you mentioned that he was going into the abyss to his opponent's strengths, I just thought he really had something to prove out here. And mission accomplished because he goes home with 20K and very much deserved. So maybe he didn't have the points because everybody's like, oh, how many points has he gotten? And somebody was telling me, they're like, he didn't get any points. And I was like, did you not see this man go into work? He had some of the best matches that were exciting because you didn't know what would happen. You didn't know if he would survive it, let alone captivate it by making sure somebody's going to go through a couch. And that's not to overstep, obviously, the powerhouse performance led by Ryan Aitken, but he had some great support. And I'm going to ask this to you, Kevin. How does it feel to watch Ernesto go out there and put on such a display of his jiu-jitsu?
Dude, it was great. I unfortunately, when there was an injury prior to the season, I immediately, I mean, within 20 minutes, it was Braylor Grout posted a story. I think you told me, you told me Grout is out. And I looked at it, 24 minutes had passed. You're like, I'm not sure. I immediately hopped in Brandon's DMs. I immediately told Paul and Ernesto, I said, hey, guys, y'all need to hit up Brandon. And I lobbied real hard for Ernesto. And the crux of it was like, man, it's not just that he's my boy. It's that he's so good on the mic. He's a personality. He's exciting. He's good at jiu-jitsu. He hunts finishes. He's everything you want as an archetype on the PGF. He's attacking from everywhere. He always wants the sub. There's just a lot of personality there. And told BMAC, man, it's a huge missed opportunity if you guys don't get him on this season. And BMAC threw him in, gave him the shot, and it was really cool to see Ernesto put himself on the map. Like, you had Eddie Bravo talking about this guy's going to be one of the top 10 best guys in the weight class. And, like, yeah, he's a 170. He's doing this at 205 and showing people he's still not afraid of these guys going right after him. It's fantastic, man. It's good to see.
Rev?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I overlooked somebody, and I think it's a very important storyline. And I won't. He'll keep bringing this up until to say I missed him. Travis Thomas.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of hit this story last year with Elijah Carlton. Kind of that questionable thing of like, hey, is he just a Southeastern guy? You know, can he really hang with the top talent? And we had that storyline. He did a great job last year with Elijah, and that same storyline we saw happen again with Travis Thomas. People saw him, hey, okay, you were a standout back in season 5, back in Decatur, Alabama. But seriously, we have some of the best in the world now. What are you going to do? Well, he's going to perform, and that's why he's, you know, in 4th place. So, Travis Thomas, you're amazing. There you go.
Very good. Very good. Well, we did kind of preview who some of the main players are for tomorrow just by talking about, Team New Hope, which is not a surprise, but there are some friends who are going to be joining them, and that's why we're going to preview the second topic. And I want to do this kind of quickly, guys, so if you can just keep this to a minute each. I'd just like to know from both of you who have very different extreme takes, what can we expect for tomorrow? Egg, I'm going to start with you.
Fireworks. I think Ernesto will not back down against Ryan Aiken. They both know each other because they're from the Southeast, and I should really let Kevin talk more about that, but that's going to be amazing. Marcin and Elijah, that's going to be weird, just because Elijah's got like the Gumby legs, and you can just see Marcin like, you know, pinning them behind his head, kind of like Travis Thomas did. But that should be really fun. I think we're going to see Kyle Bain probably force overtime because Wojcik's very dangerous as well with the legs. But Bain is just a beast. He's huge. I mean, and if you have that guy on your back, that's bad. So, but that's a great technique for him. So, action. I mean, really, that's what it is. These guys should be at the top 8. They're phenomenal, exciting. Thank you.
The very polite thank you. Appreciate that. Kevin, what can we expect tomorrow, sir?
Yeah, fireworks. Fireworks. You're right. There's not going to be an inch of backing up for Ernesto. Also, with a really powerful EBI player like Ryan Aiken, he might be the best in the rule set in the world at that EBI overtimes with a massive weight advantage. You don't want overtimes with that guy. You have to go after him. That's a nightmare. You can't let him be on your back for free. I don't care if he thinks his rear naked choke is lacking. Like, he's a trash compactor in human form. He's going to crush your skull. Marcin and Elijah is super interesting. If you want to talk about a clash of styles, that's dramatic. Marcin is all gas pedal, all forward, all initiation. And Elijah is a really, really effective counter player. He's really good at neutralizing all of that energy people throw at him. And then those middle ones, have we figured out who's going to be at 5 and who's going to be at 6 with the tiebreaker between Chris and Kyle? They're tied at 20 points apiece.
But does that include team points? Like, is what we see on Smooth Comp final?
Paul is in 5th place.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, man. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great.
Well, you guys are going to want to tune in that tomorrow. But before we go, we're joined by somebody who has read a lot of books about being a lawyer, and from that has only Murderers in the Building his way into learning and wanting to see how this thing might work. So because Tim's not here, he'll be taking on the lead role of a lawyer against the unformidable but formidable in jiu-jitsu, Kevin Sherrill, today for another installment of PGF Court.
Witnessing is real. The participants are not actors. They are not skilled enough to be actors. They are actual hosts litigating on behalf of the athletes and the audience of the PGF at an undisclosed underground court in Las Vegas. Both parties have agreed to dismiss the internet and settle their disputes here at PGF Court.
Hello, everybody. This is easy to do, especially with the 20-second bumper. My name is Rafa Sparza. You are watching PGF Court. We have a lot of topics that we bring to this courtroom that cannot be settled either through the referee table or on the mats, and that is what we are going to figure out today. We want to bring up an issue that I think we found is very necessary given the amount of people who were injured and who necessitated alternates. So today we're proposing, should the PGF consider a mid-season trade deadline? Other sports have them, but currently the only trades that seem to exist happen at the draft. And starting off today, we're going to have Egghead take the very first stab at presenting an argument. Let's put 1 minute on the clock for him for his opening statement.
All right, so the PGF is all about ease of access. All right, we want to make jiu-jitsu easy for people to digest. So 6-minute rounds, easy scoring. Hey, there's sub or no sub, and we want to tell stories of people. We want to get people, to hear about teams and themes, and to get people promoted out there. Now, if you start changing things midway, okay, wait a second. I thought Handsome Kevin was on this team. He's on this team? What is he, a traitor? Oh, yeah, he seems like the traitor type. But it's just going to be confusing. And again, that's going to be more problems with getting the major audience involved. I mean, baseball does this all the dang time, and as annoying as can be. No one has any faith in that people will be a part of a team, that they'll be, good team players. And you heard the winning team here, New Hope Regeneration, had a wonderful team dynamic, and that helped them win.
That will be your time, counselor. Thank you very much. Kevin, I am now ready for your opening statement. 1 minute on the clock.
Yeah, I think the PGF is a adaptive and very modern style of sports league. They're changing things on the fly. Why not this? We've done something new, not a single new thing, several new things every season. Midweek changes. We did the draft auction this year instead of a snake draft or any classic draft. We've changed up things as far as like how the alternates get in, and the alternates are done. We had Jacob Howarth change teams. We had Christos change teams. Things have been changing on the fly. There was a mid-season, there was a discussion to be had about, hey, this is the new interpretation of these positions in the rules. This is what the PGF does. This is what it does well. This is what it's excellent at, is it constantly adapts and moves on to the next thing. And the next thing we need to address is trades. It could reinvigorate a lineup. It could reinvigorate a season. Instead of just getting blown out all season, you have a chance to make a comeback. You can gamble on it, and that creates an exciting season.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Kevin, I'm going to start with your cross-examination time. You have 1 minute on the clock.
Egg, did you find the handsome trader dynamic story that you just brought up? Was that interesting to you?
That you're a traitor to your people?
Yeah.
I find you just interesting because you're kind of...
Was that interesting to you, yes or no?
That you were a traitor?
The example you presented, was it interesting to you, yes or no? Please stop eating my time.
I don't understand your question because you weren't actually a traitor. You were on
the hypothetical story.
You were on a team.
The hypothetical story you presented, was it interesting? This man has eaten 30 seconds of my time.
Then you should have asked a better question.
He's just being evasive.
Evasive? I'm trying to understand your question.
You brought up a baseball example. Do you watch baseball?
Not as much as jiu-jitsu.
But you do watch baseball.
Yeah, Red Sox
You
fan.
tune in. You are a fan of baseball. Despite the midseason trades you brought up, they haven't put you off of it.
I rarely watch it.
And that will be your time. Egg, you now get the opportunity to go into Kevin's cross-examination time. Go.
All right. So you talked about Howarth and Papadelos switching teams. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes.
And they did so because they had to, right?
They were given the option. They actually had the option whether they would like to change teams or not.
That's lovely. But the PGF had to make that happen because we needed players. Is that not true?
No, that's not true. We actually had multiple players in the building that could have gone in instead of them, and they were given the option.
We pulled you from the commentary table here.
So
what are
you're
we going to
saying
do?
I was
are we,
in the building
are we
and
gonna get
available.
Are we going to get the former Raiders next from security?
That
No,
would
they
be
have to keep protected.
fantastic. Why
They
wouldn't we do
can't make
that?
the weight. But the point is, it had to happen. And another point is that, hey, you never saw them on another team because New Hope Regeneration never had to put them in. So they never switched
We did
teams.
see them on another team.
Not visibly.
That green was very visible.
No, they weren't on a team until they went to another one because New Hope Generation never needed a reserve player. All 5 made it the whole time.
Are you claiming they were invisible for the period
Gentlemen,
of time they were on the wrong team?
time is expired. No further discussion on that. Let's now get into closing statements. Egg, you kick off with 1 minute.
Loyalty and storylines and camaraderie, esprit de corps. These are important things that can motivate and inspire our watchers, our audience, fans of sports. We only have 4 days in our season, and if we start switching things up midstream, you're going to lose all that goodwill, all that storyline that you had. It's problematic. It raises barriers, and it's going to turn people off. Because if people that aren't used to jiu-jitsu are just trying to learn the sport itself, and then you throw the distractor of, wait a second, I can't follow this because I thought they were on that team, not that team. No, this, and they swap 3 different ways. Wait a second, do their points swap with them? What goes on next? It's too much. It's a distractor. Keep it simple. Keep it clean. Keep it the professional grappling federation that we all know and love.
Thank you for that. Kevin, your time begins now.
You keep bringing up storylines and talking about how important they are. My opponent here keeps insisting that these storylines are what are important, but betrayal is a storyline. Betrayal is a storyline. The choice between do I chase the money or do I stay with the team, it suddenly creates a dynamic that's incredibly interesting. It's compelling. We're talking about it right now. He brought up interesting examples. Loyalty is interesting, especially when it clashes against your other priorities, your competitiveness, things like that. What we're talking about is adding another layer onto an already existing good product, something that you guys already tune in for. How crazy would it be to see halfway through the season, me and Elijah in season 5 end up on the same team? After all that talk, how crazy would it be after Brad Schneider and Sam Schwartz quite literally got in each other's faces with hands and fingers? Suddenly they're on the same team. That creates an incredible dynamic. It's compelling drama, and I think we need to entertain it.
Thank you, gentlemen, for a invigorating court today. Of course, what was at display was trying to figure out the need for a mid-season trade deadline. Both of you had solid arguments, which is unusual for this court. But let's start with the idea of ease of access. Egg was arguing that, yes, we need to make it very simple for people. And while that does work for a little bit of time, it does beg the question, are our audiences not smart enough to follow small adjustments? That is a big question. Kevin came through with excellent forms of rhetoric, had multiple points and a couple examples. But Kevin, I must ask you, on CrossX, do you remember your line of questioning?
What are we talking about?
What did you... Yeah, okay, that's not very promising. Do you remember specifically what you asked Egg during CrossX?
Oh, I asked him if he found my hypothetical betrayal of my team compelling.
You spent 30 seconds on that and then said, you watch baseball? You like
trying to get to 2 questions. I was changing up my angle.
But you know what the problem is? You left it open for him to poke holes in your argument. And today, fortunately, you were evasive enough in his cross-examination that it did seem to negate part of it, but his cross-ex much stronger. So it really does come down to conclusions. We will be ruling today in favor of Kevin Sherrill based off of this particular reason. Although Egg argued a very strong point, the crux of his concluding argument was the fact that we need loyalty. He was stealing from Lord of the Rings a closing argument of friendship and loyalty and nobility that I thought, that doesn't make any sense. And you left it open for the skeezy used car salesman to basically come in and go, betrayal's where the TV is at. And I think to myself, he's not wrong. What I would propose for the future court, though, is this. I think you make it a point to say, yes, we keep the innovation small, but we at the PGF are known for our innovations, and I believe that going forward, that is something we should continue to do. So, gentlemen, congratulations to one Kevin Sherrill. Kevin, do you have any advice for somebody who's not particularly involved in the law profession, perhaps maybe so that they could read up to learn more about the profession?
Yeah, I'd love to help somebody follow the path that I'm paving. Is this ruling set in stone? Have we concluded?
He doesn't want to pull a Tim.
I'm very nervous.
It depends. What do you have to say next?
If it still depends, probably nothing. Probably nothing.
You don't want to rock the boat?
Yeah, I really don't want to. Okay. I don't want to trip right there on the finish line.
Okay, so I should ask for one last thing. I do see a gentleman over here by the name of Stephen Aiken. Stephen, do you mind coming over here for a second? Get out of here. This is for you, Kev. Just move out for a split second. Stephen, take a seat real quick as we conclude this court. I had somebody who was going to press charges against Stephen Aiken, and I'd just like to hear the case before I open up this court case. What exactly am I supposed to be adjudicating here, Egg?
I don't know. I asked for discovery, and you did not provide it.
You know what? I did show you the clip, and you had eyes and access to it, but your client here also made a strong admission. Would you like to repeat to the court what the admission was?
I don't even know what that means.
No. He doesn't have to answer. I was asking your counsel, what exactly did your client say?
Now you're asking for attorney-client privileged information?
No, I'm saying
that
he
is
was
against the law.
It's not against the law in this court. First of all, this is PGF court.
According
Second
to the
of all,
Constitution of the United States, 6th Amendment.
Wow. Okay, you're bringing in the Constitution in Vegas. Let's see that document work here.
Because Las Vegas is in the United States. Is it some imaginary land where the Constitution doesn't matter?
Las Vegas.
Do we not fly the stars and stripes above
Hold on,
us?
Stephen Aiken, you can't talk. Stephen, let me just say this real quick before I get into the discovery. I want to make sure that he understands that Las Vegas is essentially the escape from LA of Nevada. If you come here, you don't know exactly what you are getting into. Kurt Russell might be surfing on water that is incredibly CGI'd. You don't know for sure what you're going to see here. But can you please repeat, not client attorney privilege, but what we heard here as a group? Thus, it was brought to my table, my literal bench, what was discovered here at approximately 2:52 p.m.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
You said I might need you, and so I said yes, I will come here if needed.
I will be pressing charges.
You will be.
On.
Have you been aggrieved?
What's that?
Do you have standing?
Why do you know all this?
How can you be an accuser if you're also the judge? Is this England?
No.
Is this
Who's the
inquisitorial?
accuser for what?
That's exactly. I'm curious about these.
You're curious about these things, but you
Yes.
brought this to the court. I didn't bring
Who
this to
did?
the
I
court.
brought nothing to the court.
No, you guys said I need time. Would you like me to go through the text message?
I need time. For what? I need to go.
No, you don't. I would like to say an
I
assault.
think we have false imprisonment right
Nope.
now.
This is
if he's not
false
allowed to leave.
Y'all
imprisonment.
gonna make me cuss on TV.
Yes.
What happened was a member of this team was assaulted
Are you testifying?
by your client. And
Don't say
we
anything.
have that on video to which you were given exclusive viewing to that. So what exactly do you have to say for your client?
Please show us the video.
You want to see the video?
Yeah, let's see the video. I don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
I had no discovery.
Great. Give me a second here. I'm just going to leave my bench. And
I told you there's no video. This is
The case is closed.
It's like a witch hunt.
We are case dismissed, I believe, and now
I'm Tim's lawyer, and I'm here to
Who
tell
am I?
you that Tim was attacked.
Tim. Where's Tim?
It was in broad
Who
daylight
is Tim?
and LED lights.
and now you're testifying as
It
an
was
attorney.
clear as day.
Attorney-
I'm
I
a
have a
lawyer.
right
If you're a lawyer, you can't be a witness.
I've been a
Say
lawyer my
something to the
entire life, and
person
I'm
that's
here to
accusing you,
defend
right?
Tim. Tim
Outstanding,
Freeman
so,
deserves to be defended.
Sixth Amendment rights.
any speech that you provide is
I
not
was there
evidence.
as well, and if it did happen,
Whoa,
Tim
whoa,
absolutely
okay, hold on.
deserved it, and I would like to go on record saying that if it did allegedly happen, great job.
So if there was some
fantastic.
scuffle,
Kevin
it would
told me
be
to do it.
consensual scuffling.
Listen,
I didn't, but alleged.
Things are taking a turn. Things are taking a turn.
A mutual affray, perhaps. Yes, a mutual affray. That's
better than non-consensual.
Consent is defense to all assault charges, if that's what you're trying to say over
Tim,
here.
I just want to let you know I tried to defend you. I'm not.
I
a
mean,
very
I
good lawyer.
googled it. AI said consent's a defense.
Good luck out there.
And they said mutual affray. I don't know. So
Who is Tim?
I don't know. There's no evidence here.
Consensual Scuffling is a solid band name.
I like that.
Where's the footage at?
I would love to.
Where?
Are you gonna have somebody authenticate this footage? You gonna lay a foundation?
My God.
If I'm sitting here, am I in charge? This is my court. We're doing things my way, the Lawyer-Steen way.
Do you have buttons over there? I don't know. Oh, okay. Who's that, gentleman?
That looks like our teeth.
I see a gentleman with glasses. Oh, what?
What?
Are you laying the foundation for your own court? That's highly improper.
No.
Oh man.
This is like a deep fake.
So
Oh
hold
wow.
on. Wait a second. So you're saying it looks like there is a bald gentleman. Do you know how many bald people there are in
Did
jiu-jitsu?
TJ DeSantis assault Tim? When did that happen?
I mean, I think a good third of the people in this room today
Me
were
and
bald.
TJ were together, so it couldn't have been him.
If it was Stephen Eakin, how did Tim survive?
Yeah, I mean, that's
good
really
point.
mean of TJ. That's surprising.
That's a good point.
I mean, honestly, Kevin, how many bald jiu-jitsu people were in this room today?
I don't know. I don't see them as
at least-
people.
Oh wow, at least 30. So once the follicles stop working, they're just
They're
dead.
basically
just like their follicles.
They're just waiting for the gray.
Oh man, I'm just so sad for Tim.
Stop! Don't say this.
I don't know why somebody would do this. So, let's take a look at this. What exactly are you doing here, Stephen Aiken?
Oh, hold on. No, there's been no establishment that this is my client whatsoever.
Well,
Again, you have a bald
Where's Tim?
jiu-jitsu
I'm worried
person,
about
perhaps,
bald
with
person
a beard.
who
That's
also
a
is
third
wearing
of all
a
jiu-jitsu people.
PGF hoodie.
A PGF hoodie? Anyone could have worn that.
Not
They
particularly.
were all purchased by Matt Viper, or produced by them. Maybe. I don't know. You still haven't laid a foundation for this.
Should we advance the footage? Octavio, if you would be so kind. Okay, let's stop right here. Who is that human being? And in fact, can you do me a favor? Can you tilt your head just ever so
Don't
like
do
this?
that ever.
Ever.
Don't put
so
any clothes they want
slightly.
you to put on. None of that.
Just kind of put your hands in this
Oh,
general.
nope.
Yep.
Nope. Don't
If
do
you
that.
could.
There's no warrant.
That's a
Don't do
deep
that.
fake.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you're not used to all the kids
You were telling
stuff.
me how you had this AI stuff earlier.
really easy
Stephen
to do.
Aiken, just if this wasn't
I mean,
you.
we could probably put your face on there. Here,
If
like,
this
give me like
wasn't
5
you,
minutes. It'd be
Stephen
easy to
Aiken,
pull up the
what
app.
do you think this person is doing if this is not you, Stephen Aiken?
Don't answer that.
What do I think this person's doing?
If you go ahead and ruin choke.
I would
Okay.
never
No,
do that.
no, do not recreate that.
How did you get that hat? How did you get this hat?
That-
see the people
What is this?
Let's give it zero.
Put the rear naked choke in. Let's make a real comparison.
Hell no.
You are a black belt.
I
You
would
should
never
be able to
choke my
demonstrate.
friends.
You would
There's
never
no
choke
evidence
your
he's a black
friends.
belt.
Never.
If a very handsome Tim was sitting here, what would a strangle look like from Stephen Eakin? Oh, he's running for it.
I do not believe anyone would recreate that. Right now. No.
So
Yes, sir.
Don't do that, sir.
we will, of course.
I think it's gotta be
It's not often I ask to get strangled,
I
but
don't even see a
I mean, I've seen no evidence.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say you don't see a victim?
no body,
No.
no crime.
Wow.
I mean,
The
he's not here
body
to press
is
charges.
dead right now.
I can't
Oh,
believe Miggy
you
lives like
deaf?
this. This is disorienting.
Oh,
He is
please put the video forward. Let's see how he dies. I mean, he seems to be moving right there. Seems to be alive still.
So, hey,
I mean, didn't we see him during the pre-show today?
and let's
He was,
pause
on,
this.
he was live. Don't
Hold
you have
on,
the
hold
footage
on.
from earlier?
Octavio,
He's
if you
alive.
could keep this paused right here. What is happening here? Is this part of your consensual scuffling that you were referring to?
I don't
he
know.
looks really strong.
I think we'd have to know what the type of manner of behavior that they have, what type of pattern of behavior they have. You know, if those people just grab each other by the head, say they do some sort of practice, some sort of art where people grab each other by the head all the dang time, and it's allowed. It's actually encouraged. And, even if you say, hey, you don't have that quite right, you need to kind of adjust your arm a little bit and you kind of coach them through these things. Yeah, it sounds like a clear mistake of fact is a consent or consent situation.
You can approach the bench, please. Yeah, if you fire your attorney, you can win.
I want to fire my attorney.
Done. Charges are dismissed. You're held in contempt. Egg, thank you very much.
Noted.
All right.
Still receive my bill.
You'll still
I wonder
receive
if the alleged perpetrator sells private lessons or seminars or something. That was solid technique.
Mr. Aiken, welcome to the team. We will be signing off, but do you have any shout-outs you want to give, sir?
Shout out to Tim. I hope you're okay. Whoever
He
that
died.
was, we're gonna
Tim
find
died. You
whoever
cannot.
that was. We're gonna find him.
You can't.
Okay?
Find him.
Just
Get that to you.
R.I.P. my
We're gonna
homie Tim.
find him.
We'll pour out some
No, don't pour that out.
Oh,
No,
chocolate. The chocolate one.
Chocolate for the homies, son.
What?
You gotta pour the fine. Tim
What
is
is
fine
wrong
with water.
with you,
Fine is
bro?
for my boy Tim.
No, you can't drink it. I don't know what.
First you kill the man, and then you desecrate his grave with the last
Desecrate with the most
last
delicious.
remaining. Dude,
My argument is
do you
the
understand?
opposite. That's too valuable. Tim can take
First of all,
water.
I'm not stepping on that. Literally, people walk into the scenes, and I just see this in the cameras. Whenever I'm walking in, people go, "Oh, is this mine? Oh, I'm just gonna take this," and they just take this. This has a high commodity.
I tried to fight
cannot
Egg for
get
that
that
earlier, and you're pouring it on the floor. Put this man in prison.
Listen, you shouldn't even be fighting. I wanna hear. I wanna make you like apologize to Paul Ardilla again.
Why?
Just because.
Oh, because he stole a spot.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yep, mhm.
That's fair.
You made me be
But
mean to
hold on.
Paul.
Can I just point one thing to you right now,
I'll
Kev?
take you to court for that, by the way. Can I sue him for making me
You
be
can
mean to Paul?
absolutely can do it.
Okay.
Kevin, could you
it's
just
not
look
a-
straight forward at the camera right there? I just want to point out that Kevin looks like he joined us from his frat, and that this was a challenge. So now he's about to just find some girl who was not supposed to come to the party, and it's a bet. You're doing a She's All That bet, I think, a little bit later. Anyway, gentlemen, I appreciate the work that you did here. Stephen Aiken, by the way, round of applause for Stephen Aiken and the amount of great work he has been doing. It is an incredible feature. We were so happy to see you at Craig Jones Invitational, and you are doing such great work. And I want to point this out for one specific reason. There was a moment when people were not applauding gentlemen putting in work on these mats, and my man started it and literally got the applause break going because they deserved it. Oh, that's the stuff I want to see when people are here in the audience. I don't want to see people just being like, "Oh, did he break his neck? Oops, too bad." I want people applauding.
And you remember when they booed Ryan Aiken for me?
He's powerful, you guys.
The power
That
went
was amazing.
to
Like,
Steven's
I
head.
almost
and
blacked out. I
I'm
was
in
like,
charge
what?
now.
Don't do that again, y'all. I'll act up.
Now do the wave.
Steven, any shout outs you want to give, sir?
Man, just everybody back at home. Obviously, my wife, my kids, Mandy, Thomas, Charlie, the team, Tim Perry, Zach, Jay. Thank y'all for holding it down. Excited to be here.
I just really hope that they aren't
The Dream
still,
Show. Thank you, Isaac. I forgot about him. He's back there.
still with us.
He's dirty somewhere back there.
He is definitely there.
We love him.
Hey, does anybody notice that Isaac's speech pattern matches that of Mitch Hedberg?
He does that
He's
intentionally.
100% like right on the money. Like that is the impression.
It's intentional.
It is very good though. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you so much for sticking around. I know this was an extra special long version of our post show, but we had a lot of winners to crown, and we come back and do it again tomorrow. That's not the guy we want to close.
What the fuck?
Don't put your trust in that man, no matter what he does.
This is my come back to me. This is my used car salesman poster. This is what you see on the side of the highway.
Hold on, go back to him.
This guy.
You know, the lower third is what makes it art with that particular pose. So here's what we're doing. Tomorrow, you guys are going to come back here at 3 p.m. You're going to see some fun stuff with us at the pre-show. And then when we finish kicking off, we get into the last day of action. But that's going to be on UFC Fight Pass. So watch us for free. Go to Fight Pass. Go sign up now so that you can watch it if you don't already have an account. And then when it is concluded, you can see your friends here. We'll give you some highlights, some updates, and we'll have some interviews with some of the notables and some of the winners. Ladies and gents, that is going to do it for us here at the Bullpen. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.
10,000 hours is a steep mountain to climb to become a master, especially when the task at hand puts a relentless demand on your body. There is nothing casual about this sport. It's all in, all effort, all focus. It takes a lot from you, but the reward is unmatched. Mastery of oneself, an acute understanding of your weaknesses with an explosive sense of your strengths. Being able to complete the climb to mastery requires the proper nutrition. This is why it's important to take in a potent blend of electrolytes that is in tune with your output and brings strength to your goals. This potent blend is only found in Salt Electrolytes. Salt targets your depleted electrolyte levels with a boost of hydration and health. It gives your body the baseline recovery it needs.